Hello, my name is Benjamin Wilfred Brown. Today is Monday, April the 8th, 2024. I'm initially from Los Angeles, California, where I've lived most of my life, and I'm now out here in Montreal fighting an asylum claim against the United States government. And essentially, what has happened is there is this event occurring, this ongoing event occurring within the United States, within Canada, within England, within France, within Spain, and within Italy, and globally, in which there is this effort to purport the validation of a religious prophecy in order to destroy the economic system that caters to the petrodollar system and the global economic commerce or commercial or economic chains. The system, as I was taught, was set up so that if something happened to the American military or the American government's economic prosperity, that it would essentially cripple the economic systems in all third world countries. And it is, in fact, written in the Revelations prophecy that this was supposed to happen, and that they're, in fact, supposed to harm and damage and maybe even possibly crucify the purported Jewish King David in an effort to escape from having to suffer from their sins or something. And this situation has been imposed upon me. And there is, in fact, evidence within the English and the Spanish languages and even the French languages that allude to the fact that I'm at the center of this operation in order to validate the Revelations prophecy, even though I'm, in fact, not King David. And I'm put in this situation now where I have made my claim to the RAD here in Quebec and in Canada, and they've rejected my claim. I've appealed to the RAD, and they have rejected my claim, and I've now appealed to the Canadian Immigration Prime Minister, and they have now dismissed my request for application for leave and judicial review. And I now have to go to the Supreme Court to appeal the decision of the Immigration Prime Minister, which I am going to do. And I was told that I could request PRRA, which is a pre-removal risk assessment. I have proof that I'm tied to the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and proof that I'm tied to the purported assassination of Martin Luther King. And my father was killed by a heart attack by these people. My children were kidnapped and raped and martyred. And I'm pretty sure that the whole purpose of this event was to expose on a government level that people don't know that they're kidnapping their children, and that there's absolutely no reliable interaction going on between the general public and the general population and all the people in high-ranking government. People are tainting foods in order to make people fat and heavy. People are raping kids, and people are raping soldiers or kids that are raised to be soldiers and then putting them in high positions of authority and putting them in ghost fields to pick on people and to harm people and to treat people essentially like livestock. So I have indigenous ancestry. I don't really know a whole lot about my mother's ancestry, but I know I was taught that she was Mexican, native Mexican, and that my father was German. And I learned somewhere along the way that I was part Arab, and my face, as far as I can tell, is Mediterranean looking. So I seem to have some sort of connection to the Mediterranean, and I seem to have some sort of connection to Germany, And I seem to have some sort of connection to the Arabian countries, and I have seem to have some sort of connection to the Indian countries, and I seem to have some connection to the French country and Russian country, and also some connection to the Mexican and South American countries, and also England. So I was, I guess, named after a clock tower in England called Big Ben. And not only was I named after a clock tower called Big Ben, but there's words that allude to me and to the conflicts that I'm facing. And one of them is prophet, as in a messenger of God, and also prophet, as in turn a prophet. The word defeat, as in to remove someone's feet or from the feet. And there's also sabotage, saboteur, and I guess there's like there's other words, but I can't really think of what those words are at the moment because somebody is clouding my memory with this illegal implant that I have in my head. I have type 2 diabetes. I'm supposed to be taking insulin shots, but I consume ice cream and cake and sugar regularly, and I don't take insulin shots to regulate it. And I, in fact, told them this at the immigration, I said this in my appeal to the immigration court. And they're ignoring me, and they're ignoring that I have a ghost chip implanted in my head. And they are also ignoring that I was, in fact, engaged by the Australian English government and also engaged by the North American English government into coming here and filing my asylum claim in an effort to get the attention of reliable English and French government agents and possibly shadow cabinet agencies. They're dismissing my case, which means I have to go and appeal, and then I also have to go and request a pre-removal risk assessment. I don't have any intention of leaving. If they come to arrest me, then it is in fact my life, and I'm literally letting these people know that this is my life, and I would rather die here in defense of the native homeland and defending my right to be free and not a genetically engineered clone / slave than submit to working for a corrupt faculty in which they just pick on me or and kill me anyway and get away with raping my children and get away with genetically engineering the people of the world on my behalf or because of my cooperation with their corrupt government bodies. Canada is in fact a Catholic country, but it is also my understanding that there is this engagement and interaction here in Canada, and it doesn't even seem like I'm surrounded by Canadian agents, although they're probably in the ghost field. It seems more like maybe Canada and Quebec specifically have been abandoned by the French and English governments, and that it is now a North American power that is dominating the Canadian territories. I am in fact getting killed because of a dispute over the territories in the Caribbean. Black people aren't supposed to be there. They're not from there. And I'm also in fact getting killed over the dispute between natives and the North American and Canadian territories, and also getting killed because of some war and some relationship that exists between Indian Arabs and Germans. I want to say that I am in fact loyal to all the righteous and salvageable members of the German communities. I am completely loyal to the righteous and salvageable members of the Indian Arab communities, and I'm completely loyal to the righteous and salvageable members of the native communities. And I would much rather die defending myself and defending the rights of the downcast, the downtrodden, the oppressed, the widowed, and the orphaned, and the ignorant, than I would enjoy to spend the rest of my years out in Mexico or spend the rest of my life doing nonsense somewhere in Los Angeles. And I've never really been consistently sober. I've never really been, until I circumcised myself, I've never really been important to really anybody except my father, who was murdered with a heart attack on the toilet in order to embarrass me and mock me. And I I didn't know I was Arab until about 6 years ago. I didn't know that I was at all tied to any body of people existing in the Mediterranean. I spent most of my life understanding that I was both German and Mexican. And now it seems like that I've reached the end of my life, but the truth being that I actually should have died about 10, 12 years ago of cardiac arrest. Like I said, I have diabetes and I'm supposed to be taking insulin shots, but I don't take insulin shots. So my body is essentially on the verge of death, and I'm completely comfortable with dying here in defense of the native homeland, and that sounds acceptable to me. And at least I get to live, breathe, and fight at the side of God and at the side of humanity. And if I'm the only person that's willing to fight and die, in defense of humanity, then that's what happens. These people are monitoring me and they're actively watching me record this video. They could come out from Ghost and assassinate me right now. They could shut my heart off and they could remove my brain from my body, but they, as far as I know, haven't done those things. And that's life. So I have connection to all these like pop culture things and all these different things, and I'm just completely not at all understanding what it is. I was totally engaged for the sole purpose of exposing ghost technology. I was totally engaged for the sole purpose of exposing that they have the capacity to travel through time, and I was engaged for the sole purpose of exposing all these things. But because I won't submit to a corrupt agency or corrupt governing body, they are neglecting me and they are rejecting me, and they are enticed to removing me from the picture or the equation or whatever. I know what it is that is at risk here, but as long as 2/3 of the world population don't get wiped out on my behalf or because of me, then I've done my job. I'm not a pacifist, and not only am I not a pacifist, but I'm not Jesus, and I'm not a Christian, and I'm not a Hindu, and I'm not a Buddhist, and I encountered Judaism and Islam and felt like it was rational. Somebody taught me that Judaism was the search for truth. And because Judaism was in fact the search for truth, it was something that I kind of encountered, and I did my best to try to study as much as I possibly could. But feeling that my life was in danger, these last moments of my life, I've spent mostly exercising and writing to children that aren't even my children. But there's just nothing else left for me to do here, and I'm ready to go. I was ready to go 5 years ago. And there's absolutely nothing left for me to do here. So whenever the authorities come here to arrest me or to do whatever it is that they're going to do, I'll be ready for them. And I'm going to end this like this. And that's life. And I'm not at all interested in being a patsy, and I'm not at all interested in purporting one thing or another, or performing any satanic rites or imposing a religion that isn't true on people. And it seems to be the epicenter of my discomfort and my misfortune here in Canada and in the United States. I've done everything that I can for Autumn Aurora Brown, and I've done everything that I can for Ethan Ray Thomas Brown, and I've done everything that I can for the middle class and lower class peoples of the world. And I'm not willing to, like I said, I'm not willing to go to Mexico, and I'm not willing to go back to North America. And I've recorded several videos, and I've uploaded them, and I've warned all the people in Canadian National Security and all the people in the Ghost Field that are here and spying on me. But if the resolution of my life is tied to the top 5 religions in the world, then there's absolutely no reason and absolutely no way that there aren't some brilliant people watching me that are completely enticed and moved by spiritual and mystical ideas and concepts. And if I die in defense of those things, that is acceptable. I will never get to raise my children. I will never get to raise my daughter. I will never get to raise my son. And I will never get to be the son that I always wanted to be. But I get to die in defense of something righteous and something sacred. And I'm willing to do those things. And I'm at war with an army of people that have been brainwashed using LSD. And they've been serving up LSD through the English and French governments since at least the 1920s. And using LSD, they've been brainwashing their citizens, and not just LSD, but the devices that are implanted in people's heads. The global population has been reduced to remote control humans, but I still sort of feel maybe biased, but like maybe some of the people are in fact somewhat responsible for some of their actions. I'm never always in complete control, but I felt like if it was up to me and my choice dictated whether 2/3 of the world living in poverty would die, or in favor of all the rich aristocrats that have been bullying and harming them, then that's not what I would choose, and that is not my judgment. And there's absolutely no way that I would choose those things. And I don't believe that all of them are in fact guilty. And I don't believe that those things are righteous judgments or righteous outcomes of something that is sacred. I think it is something that just the Catholic Church created. And I don't think that the Catholic Church is the true sole authority, because there's no way the people that developed our solar system with the intention of promoting sodomy and raping children and taking land away from native Asians. I mean, I just don't think that that makes sense. You're telling me that German Italians that discovered the engineering principles of time travel technology and ghost technology are in fact the sole owners of this solar system, and that they created Africans and Asians and Arabs to belittle them and to oppress them? That just doesn't make sense to me. I know numerical value systems are in fact Indian Arab, and I know that the engineering seems to have had a profound effect on Italian and German life. But that just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense that the German Italians created themselves, or that they're in fact not being engaged by some sort of smarter or higher form of life. Or maybe this environment is just completely digital. I don't know. So that's my video log for today. It's not a good day. And it's probably not going to be a good week or a good couple of months. And I'm just going to do my best to try to survive in defense of everything that I am. I've been harassed and assaulted my whole life. I've been fed poisoned food. I've been shamed and degraded and degenerated and embarrassed. And now it is my God-given gift to spend the remainder of my life in defense of my life and in defense of the oppressed peoples of the world, and that is an acceptable thing for me. So whoever you guys are, you righteous and salvageable members of human society and higher evolved forms of life, peace and blessings be upon your family, and may the one true God watch over you and your children and your family, and may you guys have tons of children, and may you guys just live in complete happiness forever. And may swift death come to your enemies and all their loved ones, and to all their children. And may the oppressors of humanity be cursed unto death, that they die slow and agonizing, painful deaths at the hands of those that they most fear. Okay, bye.